this early morning.
Yes, well, that's the perfect thing about early morning.
Okay, now I can hear you. That would make sense. I had this thing plugged in.
Wonderful.
Oh, Vaughn, you're gonna have to talk louder, boo boo, because I
You
tell
can't
you,
hear
either
me?
my ears. Oh, I can hear you good now.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Now you think these headphones would help me, right? Woo,
Okay.
child, only you could get me up this early in the morning. That's all I got to say.
I know. I was like, ooh, I hear the birds are chirping, and okay, get up. It's time to talk.
Woo, it's funny, I was sitting here getting ready for you,
Uh-huh.
and I was trying to decide whether I wanted to have my blinds open or not.
Uh-huh.
But when that sun hit my eyes,
Like,
I closed my blinds. I was like, oh, no way, no way, no way. So I'm going to see how prepared I am. You know, I'm a keep it real person. I was like anticipating some of the questions, and I'm like, I haven't had time to get myself together.
yeah, this is
So,
two sisters meeting on a Sunday morning, talking
yeah,
about some great things that are happening and important, very important. I know I'm representative of lots of women out there who are just curious about how men think and what they also um so yeah, you just had you asked Good Men Answered Summit, and I was able to catch some of it. I had a crazy week. But I had one computer here and one computer there, and I was listening here and listening there, and sounds like I was having a problem. But I was like, it was so good that I had to get on Facebook and put some posts, and I missed some of it. So I said, let me go to the creator herself and ask her about her thoughts about this because, okay, so um, what caused you to create the summit in the first place?
well, actually, as some of you know, those of you who have listened to Vaughn and I before, I got married about, oh gosh, 7.5 months ago. And I already had a sense of purpose and I already had a sense of mission. But, it's like when you have a major change in your life, you just can't do things the way you used to do them. There's just no way. And so, you know how it's like, okay. And then some things, honestly, because now you have somebody else in your life. So, I was kind of like asking myself, so how to do this now? I know my purpose is to empower people. I know authenticity, that's what I'm all about. Help people to get more real, more clear, so they can
Yeah.
have the life they want to have, uh, in line with who they really are, not
Mm.
based on what they see somebody else have, but something that resonates. And so I already knew that, and of course, I had books and I my coaching and all that, and I have my businesses and I had everything set up, but something has shifted, and I realized it. I felt it, and I just couldn't do things the same way. So
Yeah.
I was asking God, the universe, what's up with this? What am I supposed to do? And all I could hear was, if you be your way through it, you'll find your way to it. So I'm like, okay, I know how to be.
Oh,
I know how to sink into myself and to just kind of chill, get chill, just do me. Nothing. And
okay.
I made a pact with myself. I'm not going to do anything I don't want to do. I'm just going to be true to me. I'm going to just be in my being place. And of course, I love Super Soul Sunday and
Yes, I know.
and then of course, I'm online a lot. So you get all these different things at Google, Facebook, and I can't remember who sent this to me, but I just owe them a debt of gratitude. But somebody sent me Women on the Edge of Evolution.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Claire's on
That
it.
you might want to check that out, you know. And so I was like, hmm. And so I started clicking and I was reading about it. I was like, Of course, my faves, Lisa Nichols, Iyanla Van Zant. So I'm like, okay. Then there were other names I didn't know, but I'm like, let me just check them out.
Okay.
So that was a conference, a teleconference as well. And I remember when I heard Allie Brown. Oh
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
y'all, Allie Brown, Ali Brown. She was
Yeah,
the stuff. And so, and amazingly, you you called me the next day saying, "Girl, you got to check out
yes,
this
I
Women on
know.
the Edge of Evolution."
Yes.
I'm like, and you said Allie Brown. I'm like,
Wow. Yeah, yeah.
I knew it was a cosmic thing. I'm like, ah! So we screamed, about her for a while. But one of the things that I noticed as I was listening to the different fantastic, powerful, centered women on this conference was that when
Yeah.
I would, look at their websites and stuff, you can tell I'm waking up now. You can tell I'm too.
Uh-huh,
Um,
uh-huh.
when I would listen to their stuff, it was like these are powerful women. I started looking at their websites because you want to kind of hang with them. You just kind of want to, what else do they have out there? This is so cool. And
Yeah.
I noticed something. I know they
What?
all had something rich and powerful and free on their websites. And I was like, hmm, I don't have anything on my website. And it wasn't comparison wise, it was this sense of these ladies being powerful
Mm.
and knowing that they were a gift to the world and they offered something wonderful and equally powerful that was free. And I realized on my website I wasn't giving away anything.
Gotcha.
And all I could think of was tithing. I wasn't tithing anything.
Yeah.
That's what I saw in that. And not in that sense of you better give your 10% or you're gonna be cursed. Not that, but it was like giving of yourself first.
Mm.
And I'm like, I don't have anything like that on my website. So getting a little tight. So I got my Curious George cup because it's
I have
early in the morning. Oh,
a Christmas cup.
Vaughn, you got Frosty the Snowman on your cup, Vaughn.
Yes.
I know you're going through menopause, but
I
my
gotta,
God, really,
I gotta come
really,
up. Okay, I gotta come up. All right, all right.
you menopausal. That's right, imagery girl, imagery. Think of snow, but but anyway, and that prompted me to ask God, the universe, well, what do I have just as powerful? I don't want to just put just any old thing,
Yeah,
because all I kept thinking is when you give somebody something, you want to give them something that you would want to have.
yeah,
You don't want to give them no half stuff. You want to give them something really rich and
yeah,
wonderful because you care about them. And so I started kind of thinking, well, what do I have? What do I have? And so
yeah,
again, if you can be your way through it, you'll find your way to it. So I settled back into my being, continued to listen to the ladies, and then all of a sudden it was like, Eureka! Well, what? It was your story. Your story.
yeah.
I mean, who would have thought that at 55 years old, you would have married this super fantastic, wonderful man? Who would have thought that that would have happened? And I started looking at statistics because whenever you get an aha moment, it's like the next steps just kind of start coming. You start
Yeah,
getting inquisitive, you start getting curious, you start going in places that normally you wouldn't go. So I started thinking, yeah, what are the odds? And I'm thinking, I can remember some statistics about that. Statistics about there being what 20 men to one woman. Let me see if I can find that so I can, you know. And all of a sudden I just fell into looking at all these statistics, and I was like, oh God, I broke that one. I'm a college educated woman over 30. Huh? Got married. Huh, huh, huh. I broke that one. And then I'm thinking, okay, I'm not in the military. And I still got married because they said, your chances are more likely in the military. Why that is, I have no idea, but statistics, whatever.
Okay.
And then it was the one about women over 40, that
Yeah.
it is more likely to be killed by a terrorist than for a woman over 40 to get married. I'm like, well, I'm over 40 and I haven't been killed by a terrorist. Hello, how you like me now? You
Okay.
know, you know, I live to tell about it. And then it was like, then the biggie, because it's almost like women of color. The statistics for us look dismal across the board,
Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah.
unfortunately. And so
Hmm.
I was like, yeah, I broke that one because I'm black and I'm proud. I'm an African American. And I've been divorced twice, and I've been a single parent.
Yeah.
And I was married to somebody whose orientation was gay, though he wanted me to think it was down low. Gay, down low, whatever, potato, potato. So, I was all these things against me. I'm an adult child of an alcoholic. I used to have panic attacks while I
Hmm.
was writing my book, The Sound of My Soul. I put the pieces together, realized I was molested when I was little. So it's like all these things were
Wow.
against me. But hey, and I didn't just marry just some, Johnny come lately, but
Yeah.
Robert is an amazing man.
He is a
An
fantastic man.
amazing man. And so with an amazing heart. And so it's like, and this didn't happen to me. It just didn't happen to me. So that was what kind of started me on this journey. And of course, you want to go back and say, let me go to my single friends. Let me go to my single friends. There's hope, number one. And number two, don't settle.
Hmm.
Don't settle. Because I had to get myself from settling to not settling.
Yeah.
And that was work. That was a journey. And so as I started thinking about, well, just 7.5 years ago, what did you, no, not 7.5 months ago, excuse me, what was it as a single woman that you needed? What was it that you would have loved to have heard about? What was the thing that just drove you mad because you kept failing at it? It was relationships with men. Men.
Ah.
We love them, don't we?
Yes.
But they confuse the hell out of us, don't they? So that was what caused me to want this summit. I'm like, let me get some men together, and not just any old men, because we done dated the any old men long enough. Let's get some good men
Yeah. Yeah.
that's going to tell us the truth. They're not trying to tell us what we want to hear so they can get next to us or get what they want. But
Mm.
these are good men that really care about women.
Yeah.
They want us to succeed. They want us. And so that's what started it. And it started as, you were part of my Enough virtual workshop, which we talked about the last time.
Yes, we did.
And as we talked, you amazing, self actualized women who had dreams that you were dreaming, and you had done the work. You knew who you were. You knew your weaknesses, your strengths. You could talk about things intelligently. And I'm like, that's the demographic that nobody is serving.
Mhm. Mhm.
Nobody's helping
Yeah.
the successful woman. Nobody. The woman who has her own. She has her own home. She has her own business. She's raised her kids. They're great kids. You know, nobody's talking about love with her. And so, for many of us, though we love our dreams and everything, if we were to really be honest, some of this
Yes.
kind of workaholism is we're compensating,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know? And it's like, people, it's like, you can't have it all. Well, hello? I feel like I'm kind of on my way to having it all, about 90% that way. And I
Okay.
don't hear my husband complaining.
Uh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to serve this demographic. Go back and tell my single friends, look, this is
Absolutely.
how you do it. And so that's part of what this blah. I get tongue tied whenever I say statistics. Part of this statistics be darn movement is to empower us,
Mm-hmm.
us. We might have been divorced a couple of times, but we kind of learned some stuff. But
Yeah.
yet, in all our relationship fails, what went with it was our self confidence.
Most definitely. Yeah.
And so the way that I built my confidence was learning
Mm.
about me as a dating woman, as a relating woman, and learning about men. And so that's the reason I put this summit together to answer some of the questions that us women have about men.
Most definitely. And I noticed you had 10 men on the summit. And
Yes,
they seemed, all of them seemed unique and had their own flavor, you know?
they
And so,
did.
yeah, yeah. So give us an excerpt, some highlights from each one of the men that provided this incredible information.
That's part of it. That I was on Facebook before this call so I could go back and remind myself of the highlights because I'm 55 and
Oh,
it is 7 something in the morning.
yeah.
So I can tell you some of the things that impacted me. And I'll
Okay.
start with the most recent, and I'll let you help me because you did kind of hear some of them, but you
Look.
didn't get to hear all of it. And
No,
so
didn't.
I know, wah, wah, wah. But you know what? I thought about you because, like I said, I'm serving this demographic, and
Yeah.
most of you ladies are busy. You're handling your business. So I got you covered, sis. So I'll tell you about the men first, then I'll tell
Okay.
you how I got you covered. But let's see, start with the most recent one. On night on August the 14th was Mirdad Moyazadeh
Oh
and
my.
Owen McNeil. And Mirdad is the founder of a coaching practice called Life is Important.
Oh, it
And he
is.
looks at love as being part of life. So if
Ah,
life is important, love is important. And
ah,
what was really great about Mirdad, I can tell you more about the people than I
okay.
can about specifics that they said. But
That would be good.
um,
Show us the
oh,
people. Yeah, yeah.
okay. Mirdad has this global thing about him. He's lived in 3 countries. And
Wow.
I think what he brought was a broadness to this love conversation, a broadness. There was a spiritual esqueness about it
Oh, okay.
that was very global and very. I think the biggest thing about him that just hit me in my heart was he brought authenticity to sex.
Ooh.
And I did not look at it in that wise. you know, I can't remember one thing he said that just knocked me over. And I might paraphrase a little bit, but I have to tell you how it hit me. He was saying, a lot of times we're talking about, especially for us women over 40, over 30, whatever, our biggest thing is sex
Okay.
because we want to have it,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't want you to just jump up after it's over, put your pants on, put your belt on, and leave us.
Yeah, a
And we're
repetition.
finding, sadly, that you would think that men would have evolved, the 40s, 50s, 60s man would have evolved to the point that he was not a hit it and quit it. But sadly, a lot of the stories that I've heard from women have been that they've had sex with these guys only to find out these guys got some more work to do
Mm. Okay.
on themselves. And it just ain't working.
Yeah. Oh,
And it's like they're kind of stuck in that high school thing of hit it and quit it.
gotcha.
So one of the things that he did say, however, which was really liberating for we women over 30, 40, 50, 60 on up, was to trust yourself.
Mm.
That if it's authentic for you in the course of getting to know this guy and the vibe and the energy and the flow of connectivity makes sex the normal flow of it, then if you pump the brakes, you've taken yourself out of the authenticity of the moment.
Mm.
And he
Wow.
was saying, what we have to do is evolve in our understanding of sex, that is not a means to an end.
No.
That most of us say, if I'm having sex with you, automatic relationship. Sex is the door to relationship. And that's where we mess up. Sex is not necessarily the door to the relationship. And if we can have sex in the moment and the enjoyment in the moment as the natural expression of our authenticity in the moment, instead of it being, you tricked me, I lost control, la, 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 but take it for what it is, we can leave the interaction empowered because we're not thinking, well, is he going to call us? Well, now we're not rushing to relationship with somebody that we might not have we might not have had but a wonderful moment with. And that's all that we needed. So he just kind of broadened it, not to make us irresponsible,
Yeah,
but
because
to
that was
make us more responsible to the women that we have become, not stuck in the labels of our youth or
the
some of
big.
the values and beliefs that no longer serve
Hmm.
the women that we have become. So that was really great.
Okay.
So I
All right.
remember that hit me because I'm like,
Well, yeah,
oh,
that was hit me too.
and it was very freeing actually. So, you know, it was really good. And of course, Owen, he just
I am.
handles his. Hey, you're right. You got to listen to it. You got to listen to it. And Owen McNeil has this wonderful respect
Mm,
and genuine love of womanhood.
mm,
And that was very key to me because if we were to get really honest,
sure.
if we weren't attracted to the opposite sex,
Yeah.
we wouldn't really like them that much
Yeah.
because they don't do right. They leave their clothes on the floor. They wash the
And
dishes.
throwing it up.
Yeah, they wash the dishes and leave the pots and pans soaking in the sink. And you're thinking that's what Brillo pads are for, you know? But they leave them soaking. And you're thinking to yourself, you're stronger than me. Get in there and rub that stuff. So we wouldn't really like them that much. But Owen just seems to just like women.
Oh man.
Oh, and I mean, he has when he talks about it, you can hear it in his voice. And it makes you feel like singing Shania Twain's The Best Thing About Being a Woman, so, it makes you want to just, man, I feel like a woman. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, he makes you just want to do it.
Wow. Now that makes me think conversely. Do we think about men like that? Ah, imagine. Okay, go ahead.
I, I do now.
Yes.
And I think I already did because of Robert,
Okay.
but even more so after hearing these men.
Mm.
I like them.
Yeah.
I really like them.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh,
went from fascination with them because after you, like I said, after you get divorced 2 times, you kind of start saying, I need to learn something about men because the common
yeah.
denominator is me.
Mhm.
And of course, I went from studying men so I wouldn't get hurt
Mhm.
anymore
Yeah.
to being fascinated with men. The more I talked to my go-to Lawrence and started l- listening to him, I got fascinated. And now I can say I really like them. I
Nice.
like them.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh man, even the ones that I might say next, I still respect manhood.
Yes.
I
Yes.
still respect the masculine mind.
Mm-hmm.
And after listening to these men and being able to bring some context to it, as I
Yes.
look back over my dating life, if I had context, I would have understood in their own way they were not trying to hurt me.
Gotcha.
They were just being men, living their experience of the situation in the moment.
Gotcha. So this Mr. O'Neill just exuded a love.
Love, and you know, I really have to give his wife Tracy props as well, because it, marriage can either make you feel good about men, or it can make you feel like, what have I done?
Yeah.
But they are such a loving, genuine yin yang, and I know that they have served their growing, deep and profound respect
Mm.
for the opposite sex, and that says a lot.
Yeah, it does. It
And
does.
then let me see. Prior to them was, oh God, help me.
Mm.
I have to go in my list. Okay, that's the most recent. Starting
Okay.
from the top,
From the beginning.
August 10th,
Yes.
it was Stephane Labossiere and Charles Johnson.
Yes. Okay. So Charles.
Stephane,
Yeah.
he's the author of the book about finding where God, where's my Boaz, which is a
Oh,
very, very popular book.
because that's all we hear is find your Boaz.
I know, right? And some women will say, I'm sitting back. I'm waiting for God to send my Boaz, you know. And I had to tell one of my girlfriends, well, God knows if unless he's coming in here for a press and curl at your salon,
you.
you might want to get out and let the man know I exist. But that he was really good, and he's a kind of keep it real guy.
Ah.
And I love that because his passion comes from wanting women to understand men. So we won't keep
Mm-hmm.
right on falling for the same things, and stopping the insanity that we can be stuck in.
Yeah.
And so I loved his way of, and he's also come up with a another book for the guys.
Oh, good. 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 What?
And he's talked about too a reference material that's going to be kind of like a Bible, a go-to kind of Bible, that he's doing this. Let me look in here, and Stefan has the answer. And
Okay.
I'm like, isn't that cool?
It is way
So
cool. I like Bible.
so he was really good. He was really, really good. Now, one of the things that he said, and was, and I guess because I got sex on the brain, maybe
Oh, okay. Yeah.
one of the things that he was saying, and it went with standards. He was saying that okay, I remember. He
Yeah.
said that a lot of times one of the things I asked him was, you know, us women, moving up in the corporate ladder and feeling like we have to compete with men, and feeling like our femininity
Mm-hmm.
is the brunt of jokes by men, that it makes them not respect us, that kind of thing. He
Mm-hmm.
was saying it's not our femininity that causes men not to respect us. It's our not holding to the rules. It's like we'll make rules and we'll break them.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
We'll tell them this is the way it is, and then we'll go back and change them.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know, we'll tell a man, this is what I want in a man, but then we'll settle for less. And men
Ooh.
don't respect us. We think we are being fair. We think
Yes.
we are showing them that uh, we are not, for the lack of a better term, we're not itches with the B in the front.
I was thinking anal or gotta have it our own way.
Yeah,
We're
that we're not
tired.
high maintenance, that we're cool, we're down sisters. That's what we think we're exuding, but men see it as we're wishy washy, and they
Ah.
cannot respect wishy washiness.
Okay.
And he said that even a woman who is one that sleeps with different men, he said even a man will respect her if she has a standard of what man she'll sleep with, and what she will take and what she won't take.
Very decided. Yeah. Know who you are.
He said, exactly. He said it's that we keep right on changing our minds It's like, but when it comes to the matters of the heart, we should have our standards and don't let nobody, you know, if you want this, you don't get the right to determine the price tag on this.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Think about it. If you keep right on being wishy-washy, he didn't say this, this is just coming from me. But if you
Okay.
keep being wishy-washy, then you're taking yourself from being of high value. Because think about it, if the guy is attracted to you and he's seeing you doing your thing, his idea of you is okay, she's of value.
Yes,
You
yes.
don't want him to go out on a date with you, and because of your wishy-washiness, he says, oh, she wasn't a Michael Kors.
Ah.
She was a knockoff.
So then he takes out his gun and puts his own sticker on
He says, oh, she's bargain basement. So, okay, well, then I'll sleep with her then. And that's it. That's all I want from her. Because I
it.
still find her attractive. I still find her sexy, but it ain't going to be
Yeah.
nothing else about that. And
Uh,
that was one of the things that Owen was saying as well.
oh, okay.
And other speakers, y'all have to forgive me if I don't remember everything. It's just because I'm human. But he, one of the things he was saying about us was that, women think, can you change a man? You might can't change the essence of his manliness,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But men have been known to have might have entered into the date thinking, I just want to hit that, but you reveal yourself as having an opinion and having more going for you, and he's like,
Well.
there's more to her. Hmm, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
you can't change a man's mind about you only if you are clear about who you are and you're comfortable in your own skin and you going to do you regardless of what he does.
Yes. Oh, that's some good stuff.
So that was really good. And of course, Charles Johnson. I
Yes.
mean, to me, he's one of the coolest pastors, bishops I've ever met.
Yes, it
And I
is.
love that even though he is very devout in his faith,
Very much so.
he has a broadness of life experience that allows him to talk about dating and relationships, making the gospel, if you will, very practical.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that about him and his wife as well. That
Yeah.
dynamic with
Mm-hmm.
them is so, and the things that he shared, he talked about why men hate it when women say we need to talk,
Oh, it's like dun
like
dun
that, dun dun dun. But he also clarified that he'd rather have his wife talk than not talk.
dun. Yeah.
And you would have to listen to the way he talked about it. It made you just want to go high five his wife for real.
Okay. All right. High
You
five.
know, high five. And I just love that his insights about it. And let's see. Then the second night was blah, 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 was it night of down? Night number two. Help me, I'm having a brain fart, Vaughn.
Oh my. Hold on.
Oh,
Oops.
it was Don Webster and Tim T.
Okay.
Sahura. Tim T.
So,
Sahura.
so tell us
They were
about
night number two.
Don.
And Donald Webster, he is the founder of Images by Don Photography.
Mm-hmm.
And he shares some wonderful things that he discovered while shooting, and I don't mean shooting, but shooting women getting ready to get married. You
Ooh.
know? And I love listening. I love listening. Oh, Lord, Lisa Jeanette done in the house. Oh, look at her. Oh, go ahead on, soul sister. hey, chicka chicka boom boom friend.
Alicia.
What's up? What's up?
Oh, girl. But talking about Don, he what I
Yeah,
loved
yeah.
about him is he brought this
Mute me so I can listen. Just mute me.
just mute you. Okay. Vaughn, you controlling the controls and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Girl, I see you with them glasses on though, Lisa. I swear, girl, you got that I am Lisa, like straight it's not a straight out of Compton.
I got you, girl. You are muted. So there you are.
Woo! But I like that of course he said that he prayed for daughters. Now you got Savon, you got the okay, there it went. Okay. You still got me, Vaughn?
Yes, I still have you.
Okay. He said he prayed for daughters because he wanted to be able to show them how a man treats a woman that he loves,
Ah, yes.
and he wanted to show them to model it every day in their lives by the way that he treated their mother. And I thought that was just oh, because most men want a namesake, you
Mhm.
know,
Yes, they
but
do.
he
Yes.
wanted daughters. And anybody who knows Don's story, which he shares on in the summit,
Uh-huh.
you know that if a man really wants to change, or if he really gets it in his head that I'm not living up to my full potential, I can be better, I can do better, that the power of tapping into that spiritualness, some of us call him God, some of us call him something else, but tapping into that higher part of you that says, I want to be better, I want to do better,
Mm-hmm.
that you really can, have that. And then, of course, there was Timti Sahura. And I love the way he pronounced his name, first of all. He hailed from London.
I love it.
Oh, man. And he was the one that talked about the evolved man. And I
Oh,
had never heard that before, honestly. And oh my God, he was talking about men men and women,
okay.
that we have to learn to date and relate from a point of evolution. And if that person is not serving in your becoming, no matter how nice and cute and whatever he is, he's not the right man for you. So he really broke that thing down. I mean, woo, he broke it down. So that was really good about him. And then let's see. Then after him was Jonathan Aslay, and who was with Jonathan? Who was with Jonathan? It was Jonathan Aslay.
Trying to find the lyrics so I
Help me, Vaughn. I'll
can.
talk about Jonathan, and by the time I finish talking about Jonathan, you'll have the next person after Jonathan.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. No, I mean, I'm sorry, Louise. I'm getting confused because Louise Santiago
Ooh,
was one of those nights. But anyway, y'all, I tell you what, don't even get me with the nights. I just talk about the people.
yes.
Louis Santiago, he and his wife are part of the Love Coaches,
Ah,
and
yeah.
it was really cool because what he talked about was, we get really stuck into what our type is. And he said that when he met his wife and that they were on a photo shoot, and that really they said the other one was attractive, but they really weren't each other's type.
Mm.
But how in the course of the photo shoot and of course all the breaks, they were stuck with each other for about 8 hours. I think he said 4 to 8 hours, they were kind of stuck with each other. And I guess he said what made it so wonderful because they weren't, fogged by that super attraction thing, they were
Uh,
able to have some great conversation.
hmm.
He said, and so they just kind of talked and chilled with each other, not trying to hit on each other or anything like that. And he didn't know he was talking to his wife,
Wow.
and so he talked about that. He kind of dispelled that thing about type, and all that, and brought a broadness to that conversation. That was really, really good.
So,
Jonathan Aslay, oh
okay.
my God, he came like a boom, boom, boom. That guy, he wrote the book called Understand Men Now. So he emphasized the now because Allison Armstrong, who is also very much into relationships, has an Understand Men
Okay.
website. So his is Understand Men Now.
Now.
Um,
Okay.
and the wonderful thing about him was he he is one of these coaches that gets alongside the woman, and also Louise does too, where
Okay.
they when in their coaching they actually coach you through certain situations, almost like being in your head. You're able to date, and they're the person in your ear telling you what he means. Ask him this, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
So I like that about him, and he was very hard hitting. When I asked him about are men intimidated by strong women,
Uh, yeah, that's a question a lot, especially for women who are very successful.
yeah, and his thing was that's a bunch of bullcrap, and he said another word.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
And I think because other men said yes, and so me, I'm all about context, and I
Okay. Yeah.
think the context was a confident man
Mm.
is not intimidated, and a man who really, you know, some men are more aggressive. If he's an aggressive type, then that's not going to deter him if he really going after you.
Okay.
Now, one of the things that was brought into context, however, is it depends on what that man thinks of himself.
Oh.
So if you got your stuff together and he don't have his stuff together, then yeah, he might would be intimidated by you.
Hmm.
So that was a really cool. That was a really cool perspective. Um, but he said a whole lot of good things. Oh my God, I think I was posting so hard, my fingers got carpal tunnel syndrome because I was trying so hard. He was going bam, bam, bam. And I was like, oh my God! It was so many tweets and ahas with him till I wanted to almost go, okay, forget it, y'all. I just can't keep up. This is just too good, you know. But he was really good. And what I liked about it too was I had African American men. I had men of African descent. I had men that had lived in different places in the world. I had people who were white. I had people who were of Latin descent. I had people who were of Asian descent.
Okay.
So it was a great mix. And what was so wonderful that I tell women, I really would love for women to listen to all of the men because there are certain threads that run true that they all agree on,
Wow.
and you can take those to the bank. So it's almost like ladies, whether he's white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever,
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. So I thought that was really quite great. Then there was who else? I had Thomas James. Oh my God. Oh, to meet Thomas is to love him. And I actually know Thomas and his lovely wife Harriet. And I think what really drew me to Thomas was because I know Harriet. I know Harriet.
Okay.
And for this man to have won her heart,
Okay.
he was a good man. Not that
Mm.
she was a hard woman, not at all. She's a lovely woman, but she's a very keep it real woman. Very. And she wears her feelings on her sleeve, and she's very honest. She's very caring and very loving, but she's very honest, and she I think she's like many of us. Just any man won't do. He's got to be a man of character. He's got to be a man that does what he says he's going to do. He's
Mhm.
got to be that kind of man. And so
Yeah.
that's what had me say to myself, I got to have Thomas
Okay.
on this. I've got to have him on. And he was so wonderful. He raised three daughters.
Oh, okay.
And
So
the
no.
interesting thing about his story, because a lot of men, might say, I didn't have a father in the home. I didn't have this. I didn't have this, that. But Thomas was actually raised by his father and
Oh,
his grandmother and his, uncles and some. I think he said an aunt as well. But he and his mother and father weren't together. So his father instilled in him about being honest and
Mm-hmm.
not toying with a woman's affections.
That's
See,
good.
and so a lot of women think men lie. No, all men don't lie. There are some men that were raised with some serious values, and he was talking about where that came from and how to recognize a good man in that regard. And also that good men aren't perfect.
No,
That
not
he
well.
almost flubbed,
Yeah, yeah.
and that good men have a spiritual base
Mm,
that can communicate with them. They're open enough. And of course, his spiritual base is God. That because he was open to God, God was able to speak to him and help get him back on track. So that was really, really good. And he really, really was a demonstration of what God fearing is, because a lot of men on dating websites, and a lot of you listening to this later can attest to this, men that say, what is your religion? Christian. They don't
uh-huh.
act very Christian.
Are
It's
you
like,
sure?
oh, it's like, okay, Christian is your belief, but it's
Yeah.
not your lifestyle. And what Thomas was reiterating, as well as Don, who have really been transformed by their faith, they really brought to the forefront how you can tell a man who's really been transformed.
Mm.
Because it's like, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, ladies, just because he say he's Christian.
Yeah, that's not the guarantee.
No, that ain't the guarantee. Because
No.
now I know everybody don't think like me, so don't shoot me because I grew up Pentecostal holiness. But in my journey,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
thing is I ain't caught on labels. I'm not stuck on labels. I'm not. If your faith is Muslim, if you're Jewish, whatever. My thing is I want a person who has a sense of reverence for life
Mm. Yeah, yes.
and respect for humanity.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Because if you have that as your core base, then I can live with you. I might not go to church with you, but I can be okay with that. At this age and stage in life, I can be okay with this because my child is grown.
Yes,
You
very
see
much.
what I'm saying? And maybe back to the time when he was younger and we needed that cohesive family unit to be in agreement, then maybe I might couldn't have been with you. But
Mm-hmm.
at this stage in my life, I'd rather live with a man that will allow me to evolve into who I am. And if I were to walk around the house speaking in tongues, he ain't gonna shoot me because even though he might just go, he knows that's my connection, and I know that is his connection. It's all good.
All good.
And when we sit and we eat together, we can talk about how we're becoming and he can understand. So like I said, don't shoot me, ladies, but you know what? I've been married twice to someone with the label.
Right, and then
Living with them was hell.
yeah, yeah,
You know. So that's just me. That's just me, y'all. This is not what the men said. This is just me. But
yeah.
also, let's see, who am I missing? Who am I missing? Um, we had I said, no, 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 no. Thomas, Homer, H. James Williams.
Oh, wow.
Oh, just he exudes a a very no nonsense,
Hmm.
very uh, astute, very clear. He's been a mediator for years,
Oh,
and
what kind of mediator?
parenting,
Oh, okay, all right.
that kind of thing. But he's also a certified mediator. So
Nice.
I don't know a lot about mediation, but what I loved about him was he had a lot of insights when it came to conflict. Because, just as sure as the, road goes by my house, men and women are going to disagree,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And what I loved about him was he brought a very balanced, no nonsense. It's like, wait a minute, it's not just all men and it ain't just all women. There are certain things that you have to come into the discussion, a certain evolved level of maturity that you
Wow.
have to bring
Yeah.
into conflict if you want to truly resolve it.
Yes, it's like one person can't just have their way. You have to be willing to be respectful and open to both parties.
Exactly. And true, you say what you need to say,
Sure.
but it can't just be the way you used to go at it when you were in high school.
No, that won't work.
And also, he really made a great point about how sometimes we women won't let stuff go. That
Yes.
the man is giving you his answer.
Yeah.
And because it's not the one we want to hear, we keep right on, we keep bringing stuff up. And that becomes nagging.
Yeah, and we'll say we're over it, but then the one thing triggers it, and we take it and go back there and bring it back into in the present. So yeah.
So I loved his talk was like basically like, look, are we going to be grown folks doing this or aren't we? Basically being grown folks. And that even if you don't specifically get what you want, I see you holding up your cup. I get to
Yeah,
hold up
yes.
Curious George because I'm curious. But but really, I loved it. He really, really did make you want to stop all this crazy, immature stuff.
Mm.
Let's have grown folk relationships here.
Yeah.
Let's talk like grown folks.
And meet
And
each
I
other.
love that. He was no nonsense about that. I love that about him. Let's see, Savannah. Who have I left? Okay, I've said Thomas James, Owen McNeil, and Allah. Have I gone through my whole 10? I don't want to miss nobody.
Other gentleman. I
I
can
don't want to
see
miss
a picture.
anybody.
I can see a picture. I.
I think I got everybody. But if I didn't, okay, this is my segue into the collector's edition. Okay?
Because
Because
you want to know about the collector's edition.
right, because I know, like I said, this statistics be darned movement is with us in mind. It is to serve the college educated woman over 30, the woman over
Yes,
40,
my
us folks, us ladies of color, you know, it's all women, but it's the mature woman. It's the woman that's the grown woman, might be the grandma, the cute grandma, but the grandma,
Yeah.
but we're ladies that are doing our thing, and have lived life. And so one of the things I thought about was, these ladies might be busy some of these nights. So, of course, during the conference, I had the 24-hour access, which had you ladies in mind, and I also had the full access pass, which had you ladies in mind as well. But also, the collector's edition is uh, all the speakers
That's the
every
one
night.
that's the one I purchased because you get
Yes.
everybody and you can have access and all of that. Go ahead.
You can have instant access,
Yeah.
and or you can have a downloadable MP3. That way you can listen on any device. And that's the one that I think, I was waiting. I couldn't wait to share this one with you ladies because you can have these guys in your head because like I know, after a summit is over, you're excited for about a good week,
And then
and
life,
then you go right back into the same stuff,
yeah.
and you'll be asking me the same questions. And I'd be like, come on, we got to learn. This stuff got to stick. So at least this way you can have these men in your head, which
Mm-hmm.
is good because I really believe the way we break habits,
Uh huh.
and the way we retrain our brain is to continue to infuse it with the truth, to
Yeah, it's
continue
like
to
you gotta keep hearing it and hearing
keep
it and
hearing it, keep
yeah,
hearing it, keep
yeah,
playing these men in your head over and over and over again. My favorite times is when I'm stuck in traffic, or my drive between point A and point B.
gotcha.
Lunchtime, if I don't feel like getting together with nobody, I might park underneath a tree and listen, So, or while I'm working, doing mindless work, data entry or something like that, you got this going in your head. And
Yeah,
ladies, I say this, if whether you're dating someone, just got over it, you know, might have dated somebody that didn't work, now is the time to start telling yourself the truth, because you might not feel like it right now, but it will come back.
yes, yes, it will.
You'll hear these men's voices in your head,
Mm,
and it'll be like your inner coach will be coaching you because you listened. And when he starts running the line, you'll still keep your femininity about you.
yes,
You'll be in your feminine power, but you won't be swayed,
yes.
and you won't be caught up in the game. Or because you stayed in your feminine power, maybe, just maybe, you'll show him who he is, and he'll raise his game
Mm-hmm.
and realize, oh wait, this ain't gonna work with her.
Mm-mm.
And for some men, that's what makes this woman attractive. She's not like everybody else. That's what made my husband attracted to me.
And he made such a good selection.
Thank you, sweetheart.
But
But anyway,
the thing
it's
I
an in down.
the thing I love about this is the collector's edition will allow you to um, get this information and hear it over and over again. And
Yes.
for me, it mirrors the workshop that you did because
Mm.
it kind of supports it and enhances it. And the thing I loved about your enough workshop was that our select group of women were able to talk through what we were experiencing and thinking in our heads. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's important as well.
Well, it's
Um,
great that you said that because uh, there's. It started yesterday, ladies. I'm so sorry, but you have a 5-day window to purchase the collector's edition.
ah, okay,
Okay.
okay.
Now, the edition by itself would be valued at $599. I'm offering it for $99.
Which is
$99.
that's
That
like
is
less
insane,
than
right?
yes.
But this is the thing. Now, this is what in the 5 days, okay?
Okay.
Not only will you get the collector's edition, which by itself, right?
Phenomenal. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm adding to the package. You get a one-on-one coaching session with me where you're able to sit down and design, strategize, think through your game plan for dating.
Now, see, that is so valuable because
Yes.
now you get to have a sounding board and a plan that
Yes.
so that we don't think about here's some information. Oh, that was good. Okay, I'll try this, and then we just go into our normal habits again.
Yeah,
And
because
so,
some of you ladies need to revamp your dating profile. And that's one of
oh,
the things Louise talked about a lot. About people were talking about online dating. He
yeah,
gave some rich insights
mm,
about that. He
okay,
really did. See, things are coming back to me as we talk.
I love
But
it.
yes, I mean, having that session, we can talk, work things out. If there's a specific relationship issue, we
Hmm.
can work on that. But you get a one-on-one. That's part of the package,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
And those of you that know, my coaching services are not cheap. So this
It's a
is
good
big.
it's a good investment.
It really is. And then also with it, I've just recorded. Nobody has heard it. Y'all will
Woo.
be the first ones to get it.
Oh,
It
watch
is
it
a
out.
four
Okay, first
part
to get what?
four-part series
Okay.
called Get Your Mind Right.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Ladies, get your mind right.
Get it together.
Get it together. And I that four-part series, let's see if I can remember it because it's still early. It's it's the four parts. One of them is I Object,
Hmm.
which talks about the objectification of men.
Ah, okay.
Okay. The other one is tell yourself the truth. You wanted to have sex with him.
Just be honest, huh?
Yeah, just be honest so you can stop this victim stuff. Just be honest. The other one is do you have no insurance? And that's not, I'm not talking about NO. I'm talking about KNOW.
Okay, you
Do
know who
you
you
have,
sound like now, don't you?
yeah, do you have KNOW
Sound
insurance?
like daddy.
Where
Yes.
you know your value, you know what you want, right? You
Uh-huh.
know who you are, right? You know your value, you know what you want, you know your worth, right? You know how men are. You know how to recognize a good man when he shows up. You know how to let him go if he
Hmm.
doesn't.
That's good. That's good.
So I've kind of elaborated, but it's basically do you have no insurance? KNOW. And then lastly, what was that? Oh, um, this good woman needs an overhaul.
Ooh,
Because our definition of a good woman,
tell us about that.
most of us, especially growing up, we thought what makes us a good woman is we got a good job, we go to church, and we can cook a mean pot roast.
A mean pot roast.
A
Okay.
mean pot roast. You know, that we are a good woman. Uh-uh.
Mm,
Uh-uh. We have to build that. We have to uh, elaborate on or add to
that's
what
good.
makes a good woman.
Okay.
And what inspired it was there is a guy on Facebook that has a page called The Thoughts of a Good Man.
Okay.
And he posted basically that a good woman does not take crap.
I'm loving it.
And
Okay.
it wasn't that per se, but it was talking about all these things that we do. A good woman doesn't give a bad man a pass. You know, all these things that we think make us, well, we're trying to be thoughtful. No, a good woman knows what she wants.
Yeah.
A good woman does not take crap,
Hmm.
and I've heard people say you got to kiss a lot of toes before you get to a handsome prince. And
Hmm.
I know what they mean. I know what they mean by it. They're saying basically that dating is a numbers game. That's what
Yeah.
they're really saying. That dating is a numbers game. But this is the problem I have with the kissing toads.
Okay.
I'm a woman. I was going to say I'm a grown ass woman. I was going to say that, Vaughn.
But you.
I'm a woman, but I hope Mama not listening to this because she probably be like, "Oh, dear
Oh
Jesus,
Jesus.
oh Lord, my daughter cussing. Wash her mouth out with soap for real.
Please
Oh
let it
Lord, don't.
on
Yeah,
YouTube or whatever. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
don't let Mama see this one, Vaughn. Please don't. But anyway, but I'm like, wait a minute. Why do we women have to kiss toads? My God, we don't do reptiles. We don't do amphibians. We ain't looking for no toad. We looking for a man.
Thank you. This is not a frog
And
sentence.
if we know how to recognize a good man, whether he's the right man or not, if we can recognize a good man, I'm through with kissing toads.
No, I'm with you on that. My lip.
I don't hop on lily pads. I don't eat flies. This toad kissing. This toad kissing. Yeah, I'm like, no, 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 no. So anyway,
That told
so that's
no.
why I'm like, the good woman she needs to add more to her definition because especially I
Yeah,
think,
no more
especially,
toes.
yeah, no more toads. I almost want to make that a no more toads, no more toads. But yeah, that the good woman needs an overhaul. There should be an
Okay.
evolution in that definition. And that's why it's so important to know how men think
Yes.
and to be able to speak male. Because there are
Yes.
many
Yes.
other ways that we are with other women that we get it. We get that we are trying to be interested and letting you know that we care and that we're not quick to judge. We other women get it, but men see it as wishy-washy. So
Yes.
if you want a man, then we have to know how to speak his language, and that protects us as well from kissing toads. Okay, but yeah,
Oh,
there are other things to us, other things to the good woman. There are other
so
attributes to
these
the good woman.
are so these are part of this is part of the package that you provide
So
when we
all of
purchase
this,
at 99.
yes, for $99, you get not only the
Yes.
collector's edition of the You Ask Good Men Answer, you get a one-on-one coaching session with me, you get the four-part series, Get Your Mind Right,
Yeah.
and when you have mentioned about the Enough virtual workshop, because I only have room for 6 ladies,
Oh,
I'm
yes.
only taking 6. The first 6
Okay.
ladies to buy this $99 package automatically get a spot in the Enough virtual workshop.
Okay. So, ladies, did you hear that? It automatically gets you into this enough workshop, and
It
I have
automatically does.
taken this workshop. So, Susan didn't ask me to say this. I know she's my sister, but this workshop really allows us to delve deep and connect as sisters. So, I think that's important. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, and it's the group. You have not only me in real time, the whole month of October between 9 a.m. and 12 noon, you'll have me in real time.
Now, and
And
that's
y'all know
important.
that's rare because most e-learning, courses or whatever are pre-recorded. You don't have that person that you can really talk to in real time. But
And
from
that's
that,
on Saturday, right? So we don't have to worry about,
right,
oh, I have work that week or I have something else. But this is a Saturday investment for us ladies.
yes, for the whole month of October, because again, it takes at least 21 days to break a habit. So I have purposefully made this workshop 4 Saturdays. I think there's 5 Saturdays in October, but I think it's only going to be 4 Saturdays, ladies,
Okay,
starting with
so
that first Saturday in October
mhm,
and each week, each Saturday in October for 4 weeks, right? From
uh-huh,
9 a.m. until 12 noon,
okay.
okay?
You can get
And
your schedules ready now so that you can devote
yes,
time to the thing that you want, that you desire.
and now
Yeah.
let me clarify, the workshop is not free, right? It just gets you in the workshop, right?
That's important. Okay.
That's important to know
Okay.
because the workshop is not free. A girl got to make a living, okay?
Hey,
So,
we've
and
got
then
this everything else. You've given this a whole package to us. So yeah,
exactly. So it's like, wait now, come on now, because I know this. We value what we pay for,
that's it. That's it. And we
and
will get it when we
when
pay
you
for
don't pay for it, you might get up and say, I don't feel like it today.
it.
But when you
Hmm.
know you paid for it,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're gonna get your diminutive form out of that bed.
Yes. And that's the beauty of it. You can just roll on out, wash your face, make sure that computer's on, and get ready to be fed. Just from the
Yeah, cause
yeah, you don't have to go outside and get. Yeah, I mean, if you want to do the makeup thing, because I love it, I absolutely love it. Yeah,
mhm,
but if you
mhm.
don't,
But you can just be yourself. You can do your thing, and the beauty of it now, that workshop alone, okay, that's valued at four ninety nine. That's that valued at 4.99. Probably I'm probably undervaluing it actually.
I would say that
You would say that,
it's more.
but that workshop is a 50% discount to the ladies who buy the package. To the
Oh,
ladies that buy the package, you will be able not only to be part of the first part of the six, right?
Okay.
But you will get to be in the workshop for $249.
Okay.
So it's 50% discount. And you've got from now until September.
To
The
go
end of
ahead.
September, you got now until September 30th
Uh-huh.
to pay for it. So you got what, a whole month and a half to pull together $249? Come on, ladies. Some of our weaves cost more than that.
No, she didn't. Okay.
You
So
know?
we have 2 months to get to be a part of this extraordinary workshop. But
Yes.
if we do now we can go ahead and get the $99
Yeah,
collective.
because this bonus package is only
Yeah.
good for 5 days.
Yes.
So don't get it twisted, ladies. It's only good for 5 days. So
Okay.
you got to make your mind up quick to buy this collector's edition. It expires August 19th at 12 midnight.
Okay. She.
Cinderella loses the gown and the chariot turns into a pumpkin.
So what would you have the ladies or gentlemen? I'm sure there's some gentlemen that will look at this video too. But what would you have us as ladies to know about your heart towards women?
Ladies, I know what it is like to want love. I know what it's like. Many of you have heard my story where, as a single woman, I was trying to adjust to being single because I felt like I was supposed to. After all, I was single. So it was like I was trying to act single and go to single stuff and, all this kind of stuff. But when I would get home every night, I was just like, I hate being alone in this house. I hate it. And so I know what it feels like to feel like you're displaced. For many of us, we've been married before. And if you're like me, it wasn't the marriage. It wasn't that we hated being married. It was just that we hated being married to who we were married to. But we love being part of a couple. We love having someone to share our lives with. We loved it. And I was one of those people. And I used to really literally cry almost every night
Mm,
because sometimes the pangs of wanting to be part of a couple and knowing in my heart that that was what I was supposed to be, it would always be there on my pillow every night. And so, because I know that, I know what it's like to be in my 30s, 40s, 50s, and you find yourself in your 50s and you look around and we've had this conversation, Vaughn. You
yeah.
didn't plan for your life to be like this. You didn't plan to be alone,
No,
you know?
not at all.
And I realized that for us there was nothing out there. There
Mm.
was no dating advice that fitted us. There were no singles groups at church that fitted us. It was like there was nothing for us. And so that's why this is not just something that I'm just doing. This is something that's close to my heart. I want you to know that power in who you are. I want you to know that there's love out there. I want you to know you don't have to settle. I want you to stop banging your head against a wall and believing the same lies that are keeping you single. I
Mm-mm.
want you to get it. And because I did the work to get here, I knew what it took for me to get here.
Sure.
It took praying and it took some actions. I had to
Yeah.
look at the resources that were available to me. And some of you all are quibbling over, I got this bill and I got that bill, and won't spend $10, won't spend $50, but you'll spend it on a dress to
Yeah.
go out on a date with a guy that don't care nothing about you. You'll spend it on trying to look the part
Yeah. And
and keep bringing home jerks. My thing is, it's time to invest in us because you are your best kept secret.
yes,
You
yes,
are worth the investment.
very much so.
And I'm
Yeah.
not just talking this, I have spent money to get here because I started making myself important.
The priority. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And I'm not going to say to every woman out there, oh, I can guarantee you you're going to get married. Because that would make me a liar.
Yeah.
And I ain't God.
Mm,
And I didn't give you your destiny. And I
mm-mm.
didn't give you your purpose in life.
Yeah.
So I can't promise you that. But I can promise you that you will get to a point where you are at peace with yourself,
Loving your.
loving yourself, and
Yeah.
receiving love because love is all around us.
Mm,
Receiving love from that guy that you might have not had a long term relationship with, but in the short term, it was wonderful.
mm,
And in loving those moments, instead of walking around victim and broken, but learning to evolve and seeing life, your life from a bigger place, and
mm,
stop living in a box. That's
mm.
what's in my heart. Step outside the box and live.
I'm hearing you. So we get your heart towards women to really be who you are
Yes,
and not to limit yourself in being who you've been made to be.
yes.
And so this morning we've had our coffee cups. Where's George?
Here's George.
I want,
He's curious.
I want a George.
You
Okay,
want a George.
I want a George.
But you know what I thought about with this because one of the things that Coach Mirdad said was he coaches people from a standpoint of curiosity.
Ah, yeah. So that is Curious George.
So I am living my life from a plumb of curiosity.
Yeah. So ladies without snowmen, because I just have
Yeah,
snow.
she's menopausal. Well,
I
we know that.
know. Thank you for joining us a Sunday morning,
Yes,
7:30 a.m. in Eastern Time. But realizing those of you looking in London and all the other places, India and
hmm,
continents, Africa, all over the world, you know that this is something important that you can have. And for more information and to hear sisters chat, check us out. Go to Suzette's webpage. What's your webpage, Suzette?
it's
Uh-huh.
www.suzetterhinton.com, and that's spelled S-U-Z as in zebra, E-T-T-E, the letter R, Hinton.com. And when you bring it up, immediately you see the collector's edition, you see what you get. Go ahead, y'all. Don't wait, don't hesitate, don't be late. You got 5 days to take part in this $99 special that gives you all these other bonuses that I can't wait to give you. So as soon as you hear this, and hopefully you're listening to it now, this is this is August the 16th. It
Yes, it is.
expires August the 19th at 12 midnight Eastern time. So whatever time zone you're in, it's going to expire August 19th, 12 midnight Eastern Time. So hurry up and purchase this collector's edition and get the additional bonus uh, products and services with it. Go to my website right now. That's it.
Okay, so we're going because we asked, and good men have answered us. And so we have the keys to the answer.
Yes.
Thanks for checking us out, sister to sister.
Sister to sister.
Take care.